Warm welcome to Storage Area Networks module 2. Myself Dr. Lokesh MR. I am handling the subject of Storage Area Network along with Professor Amrut, Information Science Department. So a few classes in the module 2 we have discussed about how actually storage area data centers are connected along with the networks, along with different infrastructures, starting from fiber channels connections, and then fiber channel is being connected to the internet protocol, and we call it as IP protocol, and then we have updated the infrastructures of connecting host machines to the storage area network along with the Ethernet things, okay, as the things. This is the next topic we are discussing about storage area, network storage area. This is the topic regarding how our network infrastructures has been increasing the performance of storing the informations to the data centers. Okay, so we are discussing today a few topics, something called network attached storage. Network attached storage, we will discuss that. Since we know that whenever we are attaching any informations to the data centers, so we need a extra servers, okay, extra servers for storing the informations, and even retrieving the informations also we need a servers in between the client as well as the data centers. So to avoid such things or to increase the performance of having a many servers, one network attached storage devices or infrastructures are used to increase the performance. We will discuss about what is the purpose of network attached storage, okay, and what is the advantages of keeping these infrastructures in between the server as well as a data centers, and what are the different, how actually it is being implemented by using different types of protocols and different types of intermediate softwares that we will discuss in detail regarding the network attached storage. That is the first topic. The second topic is, as I was telling, that whenever we are storing the information in the data centers, that information has to be stored in the form of files, okay. And similarly, whenever we are searching any information in the data centers, we need to search through the files itself, and we provide the informations to the client machines or host machines from the data centers through the files only. So if you are making those files to be used by the many users by performing an operation called virtualizations, that means abstract of original files as kept in the different places and it been hosted and it will be provided, then the performance of data centers will be increased. How actually the file virtualization has been done in the data centers, that we will discuss. And we know that nowadays we are all working with respect to the object oriented concepts. That means every things in the computers or anything in the technology we consolidate in the form of objects, okay. So you people have come across what do you mean by object oriented. Object oriented means representing of any informations along with the function as well as the data members. That means it contains a operations as well as some values in it, okay, like that. So similarly, in the storage area networks also, we represents the storage informations in the form of object oriented fashions, okay. All the storage content, okay, as I was telling that we represent the informations of storage in the form of files. So all these files are we retrieve the informations, or we request the information to the clients, those all things will be done through the object oriented fashions. How do we do such type of operations to encapsulate our storage informations, that we will discuss. And last topic we discussed is unified storage. Unified storage means we are representing all the storage informations in the form of unique fashion. that we will discuss. These are the topics we will discuss today. So now let us discuss about the network attached storage. So since I was talking about we interact with the client as well as the data centers along with the different servers, that is the intermediate devices. We are not directly interacting with the data centers. So the client or the host machines will interact with the intermediate infrastructure, something called storage, servers. That storage servers in turns will interacting with the data centers. So that is how actually it will be working. So for each operations by the request by the client, for example, people wants to share some of the files in the data centers and he wants to get the information from the data centers of a particular file, dedicated servers will be allocated. Similarly, one person wants to communicate only the videos, not only files. Along with the files, only the video has to be communicated. At that cases, dedicated servers will be provided and it will be requested through the data centers and it will be accessed. So to overcome such fashion, that is burden, having a many servers, we keep a one consolidated devices by the name called network attached storage, which will be consolidating a different servers into a one consolidated devices. That devices in turns will be interacting with the data centers. So those things is having a many advantages. We will discuss it. That means we will define a network attached storage as a dedicated high performance file sharing storage devices. Dedicated high performance file storing devices. So as I was telling that this is a intermediate devices which will be used in between the client as well as the data centers. So these data centers will be interacting with the client along with the internet protocols. We are using through the internet only. We are communicating between the host machine as well as the data centers through the internet. Since the extra devices is used intermediate between the host machine as well as the servers, so through the IP networks only, through the IP networks. So what is the advantages of using this? As I was telling that we are consolidating many servers into a single servers by eliminating different multiple file servers, different multiple file servers has been consolidated and kept only one server by the name called network attached storage. So it is not only uses less infrastructures for communicating. So all the communication will be done with the centralized position. Whenever conflict may not occurs. Okay. So and even for managing the storage area is also advantageous if we are making use of network attached storages. Management activities also can be done easily. So how do we implement this? Okay, these will be implemented by using file sharing protocols. Okay, so by using file sharing protocol, this is for communicating our files through the devices. Okay, through the devices by using dedicated file sharing protocols. These file sharing protocols will provide an access capabilities of the data which is stored in the data centers. Okay, what are those file sharing protocols? So the file sharing protocols are common internet file systems. Okay, file systems. This is one of the protocol which we are using for communicating between the network attached storage as well as the data centers. Okay, which we call it as CIFS. Okay, CIFS. This is one of the dedicated protocols which will be used for communicating between the devices called network attached storage as well as the data centers. The second protocol which we are using is network attached files. Okay, network attached files, sorry, network file systems. Okay, so this is a network file system. That means all the informations are stored in the network file systems. This is nothing but the network file services. Okay, network file services. Okay, so what we are doing, so we are providing a file services to the host machines by using two protocols, by using common internet network file system as common internet network file system, which we call it as CIFL. Another one is file network system, which we call it as NFS. Okay, this is the two protocol which will be used for sharing the files between the host machine as well as the client. Okay, these things, okay, these two operations will be used our networks. Okay, TCP IP networks. Okay, TCP IP networks. Okay, for data transfers. Okay, whenever we want to transfer a data to the network host system as well as a data centers, we use a TCP IP network. That means regular IP networks will be used for communicating between the network attached storage as well as a data centers by using a protocol called Common Network Interface Protocol as well as a network file systems. So these type of devices, network attached storage devices, will support both for both environment like Unix environment as well as a Windows environment. If we are using a Windows environment or the Unix environment, for both these network attached storage systems will be supporting. Now let us discuss how actually our network attached systems has been implemented. Okay, how it will be implemented. So these will be implemented by using different types of devices. Let us discuss what is the difference between regular network attached storage as well as general purpose servers. Okay, we are, as I was telling, that we are using a many servers for performing a communication between the host as well as the data centers. To reduce the many servers, we use a network attached storage, and I told that there are advantages. If we are performing such type of operations, we have a advantages of managing capability by using only, instead of managing many servers, by using one servers we can use it. Okay, so it's while sharing the informations between the different host machines in a single network attached systems, we can optimize the file server functionalities. What is mean by file server functionalities? The file server functionality is to store and to retrieve and to access the files. Okay, these are the three operations we performs in the file server operations. Those can be optimized between the data centers as well as the client servers. Okay, now let us see how actually our network attached storage devices has been implemented. As we know that whenever we are interacting with the any components in the computers, okay, or in the data centers, we need to have a dedicated operating systems. Okay, operating system for communicating. Even a host machine should have a operating systems to communicate with the data centers. Even the network attached storage system should have a dedicated file server operating systems, okay, which will be communicating with the data centers. It's not like a special operating systems has to develop for the network attached systems. By using a general operating system, how other operating systems are used, those operating systems only will be used in the network attached storage for interacting with the data centers. but in some industries they use a special operating systems which will be performs high operations for file services only, along with some standard protocols. Okay, they each industry people will be having their own protocols. Like as I was telling that we have a common internet file system protocol and network file system protocols, like that. Along with that, they can increases the regular existing protocol, common internet file system protocols and network file system protocols, depends upon the proprietary of the end users. Okay, now as I was telling that we have this is an infrastructure to showcase how actually the general purpose servers will be difference between the network attached servers. Okay, so we have a many server. As I was telling that we have a client machines. The client machines will be interacting with the many servers. Okay, this is a general purpose servers. Okay, each server will be having a request from the host machines. Assume that this is the host machine. These host machines will be having its own dedicated storage informations. Along with that, these information, these host machines will be communicating with the infrastructures along with set of rules. Something like it should have an application protocol. Through application only we are communicating. These applications will be interacting with the file blocks. Okay, this is the file blocks. As I was telling that we are interacting with the computers along with the files only. We need to, there are file blocks. These file blocks in turns will be given to the file systems. Okay, these file systems will be working along with the operating system. All these things will be working along with the operating system. This is how the host machines will be communicating with the general purpose servers. Okay, this is the general purpose server, how it will be communicated. These in turn, okay, instead of having a many types of servers, will be consolidated, okay, along with the single single server, okay, single server by the name called network attached storage. Okay, network attached storage devices. Okay, this is a network attached storage devices. So which it will be a single purpose. Okay, instead of having a many servers, different server number of servers, we are having a one dedicated servers along with some ports. Okay, and as well as a cache memory. We have learned that another type we have a port here, and along with the different storage devices. Instead of directly interacting with the data centers, we are interacting with the network attached storages. This is how actually it will looks like. Okay, these dedicated servers will be these network attached storage will have a dedicated operating systems where it can work, okay, where it can work with the file systems only. Okay, so that means it will be it's having these operating system, these dedicated operating systems will be working along with the dedicated operating systems which will be taken from the different host machines directly to the file systems. So it's having its own dedicated operating systems, and these dedicated operating systems in turns will be working along with the network interfaces. Okay, network interfaces, since these are the network interfaces which will be working, okay, these interfaces. So these are the extra softwares has been used. This shows that there is a differences between the general purpose server than the network interface devices will be used in between the host machine as well as a data centers. This is having some advantages. So what are the advantages we have? Instead of having a many to one and one to many operations configurations, for example, if you want to, if any operation is not working properly in the each server, we need to work along with the different server along with the existing one. Assume that one server is not working. At that cases, so we need to stop, that means we have to move the services to the other servers, and we need to perform the operation of repair. Okay, this can be overcome if we are consolidating many servers into a single servers. Then one is we can access the informations in a single devices. This will not be like any fault occurs. This will not have any fault tolerance will be maintained in the single things only, instead of maintaining in a many things, many to one and one to many things. We can maintain the fault tolerance operations in the dedicated devices only. It's not only that, so we can have a high improvement of efficiencies. So high efficiency of improvement of things means, like it's having a dedicated operating system. The performance can be increased in the single operating system itself, instead of having a many operating systems, and it is having a flexibility. Okay, flexibility means these dedicated single network attached systems will work for a different clients. Okay, for example, one client may be using a Unix operating systems, and one person is working along with the Windows operating systems, and one person is working with the different protocols, something like CI, common internet file systems, or networked file systems. See, he may work in a different environment, okay, whether in a Unix environment or in a Windows environment, or he may working with common internet file system environment or network file system, internet file system. Anything, it can be consolidated and it will work. That means the flexibility of adapting for the different infrastructures can be done by using the network attached systems. That is one thing. And the centralized position, see, as I was telling that all these operations will be working along with the centralized system itself. Okay, centralized system, instead of having different servers for different operations, in a centralized system the operations can be done. Okay, even the data duplications for increasing the data protections, all these can be done in the single storage systems itself. So not only that, it will be useful for managing. Okay, instead of managing multiple devices, managing a single devices will be easy. Okay, and we can increase different types of file systems, depends upon the business perspectives. Okay, vendors perspectives, we can develop a different types of file systems, and we can use these. Okay, so that the scalability of utilizing the resources in the single storages also will be increased, and obviously it is having a high performance along with the low latency designs. Okay, and the availability also will be high, as I was telling that. So we are maintaining a redundancy in the same system, and fault tolerance also will be done by using a storage area networks. Here to make a copy of the other servers, we need to have a dedicated servers, but if you want to make a copy of a single storages, so we can use this system itself. Okay, here only we can have a high availability of the availability of resources. That means if you want to perform a replications of data, easily we can do it from here itself, or if you want to perform a recovery operations in the network attached systems, it can be done easily in the system itself. Okay, in the single system itself, so that the availability of the data will be increases by using a single systems. And since it is having a single purpose network attached systems, security also can be provided. Only authentication users can access the devices. Unauthentication users are locked with the file systems. Like that we can perform the security operations also. Since we are using single devices with high-end intelligent softwares with cache and ports and all with many devices, so the cost of implementing a single network attached storages will be less than having a multiple servers, and it is easy for implementation and configurations purpose, and building a software can be done for a dedicated devices instead of building a software for the many devices like that. Okay, so these are the different types of advantages. So starting from having something called it is comparative access of informations. That means we can access the data in a single storage itself, and we can increase the performance since we are concentrating on a single server instead of multiple servers, and we can increase the flexibility. That means flexibility means like we have a we can interact with the different types of storage devices like environment as well as protocols, and it is working in a centralized storage environment. Managing is very simple, and we can increase the scalability by adding few more things to a single storage system, so that the scalability will be increases, and even we can increase the high availability by increasing the performance in the single storage itself. Even security also will be given, since we are concentrating on the single devices, the cost also will be reduces, and it is easily implemented because only one devices we need to implement by using it. So now let us understand how these components of network storage devices contains. As I was telling that we have only 2 ports along with the intelligent software like that. It's not only like that, it contains a components called 2 key components. One is a network head. Okay, head, it contains a 2 key components, something called components of network attached systems. Okay, so it contains a network attached headers as well as storages. Okay, so storages. So this is having a high performance, we will discuss. So, and it's not only that, it is being used along with the since it is a header contains the informations about how many number of hosts present in it, and it's having some dedicated CPU as well as memory for performing the operations. Along with that, it contains something called network interface card. Since I was telling that this network will be connecting along with the regular informations. Okay, it is a network interface card. Okay, along with that, so it is having something called fiber distributed data interfaces. This is one of the things. Okay, what is that? Fiber distributed data interfaces. Data interfaces like that. These are, and along with the operating systems. These are the components of network attached systems. So these components of network operating system should contains a network attached headers and as well as a storages, these will be used as an external devices for these will be used by the host machines for accessing the information. Along with that, it's having CPU and memory and network interface cards as well as the dedicated operating system. This is an example, like we have a host machines. Okay, we have a host machines. These host machines will be working along with let us tell that these host machines will be of Unix and these host machines will be working along with the Windows. Okay, these host machines will be used by network file systems. Okay, since it's a Unix operating system, it uses network file systems, and since it's a Windows operating system, it uses the protocol called common internet file system, common internet file systems. So these file systems will be interacting with the internet protocol. This is a network protocol. This network protocol, as I was telling that, so the storage area, so network attached storage systems should contains a network attached header. So these will be attaching to the headers, okay, along with the ports. Okay, these ports in turns will contain a storage systems. Okay, storage systems. These storage systems will contain a ports. Okay, it's an intelligent storage system. This is the cache. We are using it along with the different types of storages. So this is how actually the storages will be looks like. This will be connected along with the parity disk for checking. You know what I mean by parity disk, like that. So these headers, okay, should contains a interfaces, some softwares. Okay, so what are the software? Something called network interface. So network interface, this is one of the component is being used in the headers. Okay, these components should contains a network file system protocol as well as common internet file system protocol. These two protocol has been used for communicating between the different environment. Okay, and these network files, network attached storage. Okay, network attached storage device should contains a dedicated operating system to work along with the different operations of the file systems, and then it also contains a storage interfaces. Okay, where these storage interfaces in turns will be connecting to the data centers. Okay, data centers. This is the dedicated software is being used in the header for storing. This is the components of network attached systems, where it will be having a different host machines will be connected with the protocols with the internet networks, and these internet networks in turns will be connecting to the storage network. This is nothing but a network attached storage. This is network attached storage. This is how actually the components looks like. Okay, these protocols which we are discussing, something like network file system and common internet file system, these are the general protocols. So depends upon the person. Okay, like vendors, these being increases, and dedicated protocol will be used for communicating between the network interface cards as well as a data centers, all the operations which we are performing, okay, along with the network interface network attached system as well as the data centers will be done along with the IO operations. Okay, along with the IO operations. That means all the things which we are working along with the data centers will be working along with the network attached system I/O operations. So what do you mean by that? That means the files which we are interacting, whenever we are interacting with the data network attached system with the data centers, we need to interact along with the files only. So that means it will interact along with the file level data access, okay, to the clients, okay. So whenever we are interacting with the file levels, we need to have a dedicated file I/O operations. So what file I/O operation has to be done? The file I/O operation should have something like high level request for a specific files by the client machines to the network attached storages, and this network attached storages in turns will be given to the network operating systems. These operating systems performs the operations of locating the files in the data centers, and it needs to access these files in the data centers in the form of I/O operations itself for retrieving the data in the data centers. How actually it will be done? So the client machines will be requesting to the network attached storage by using the name as well as the location, okay, that means, so which file you need to access from the data centers and where it is stored. These are the two informations has to be specified as a file name as well as the location of the file where it is present in the disk centers, okay. So or else the client person will give the information in attribute information. That means these are the parameters, like we have accessed the file, we have created the file on the particular date, okay, like that. So the information about the file attributes will be given by the client for accessing the informations. These in turns will be providing to the data operating system, network attached system operating systems. So in the form of high level request, okay. These operating systems will generate a client file I/O into a client file I/O, where this client file I/O, which is send a request by the client to the network attached systems, is being converted into a block level I/O to retrieve the data in the data centers, okay. So it is not retrieving like how client is sending the information to the data centers. It is retrieving the information in the form of block level I/O process. This is the steps. Some steps needs to be followed while we are accessing the information from the client machines to the data centers. One is client will be requesting through I/O request protocols, I/O request informations into the IP networks, TCP/IP networks, which is having a network stack, okay. These turns will be interacting received by the network attached files. These network attached devices will convert I/O request into a appropriate physical storage request. This physical storage request is nothing but the block level I/O. That means it will convert the regular I/O request from the client to a physical storage request, which is in terms of block level I/O. Then it will receive the storage informations from the data centers, to the network attached devices. So these network attached devices will be packing the repacking the informations which is sent by the data centers, and then it will forward back to the client through the IP once again. Okay, that means here we have something called stacks of protocols. Stacks of protocols means it will be working along with the applications. So and along with the operating systems, system. I am talking about the client machines, how the client machines will be having, and it contains a network file systems, or it is a common interface file system, depends upon whether it is a Unix operating system or the Linux operating systems, like that. So and it will be working along with the TCP/IP protocol, and it will be working along with the network interface, where it will be connecting to the one network to the another networks. Okay, this is the first parameters, where the client will be, assume that this is the client will be requesting the informations to the network attached system. So once again, the network attached system contains the network storages, network file systems, operating system, and network interface. Okay, this network interface in turns will be communicating along with the data centers by using a storage infrastructures. This in turns will be interacting with the storage infrastructures. These storage infrastructure, this is the second steps will be followed. So next, these storage informations once again will be converting the IO, normal IO operations, into a block level IO, and then data will be provided to the network infrastructures in the form of packed. So here it will be repacked, in the header it will be repacked, and then once again from the network interface to this network interface will be providing the information. That is how the IO operations will be done along with the client machine as well as the data centers. Okay, so while performing these type of operations, we are using a different types of protocols, which is nothing but network file system protocols. Okay, network file sharing protocols, network file sharing protocols. Okay, network file sharing protocols. Okay, these network file sharing protocols in turns will be handling the multiple IO requests from the remote place of the client machines, and it will be it will be provided to the operating systems. So these type of accessing the file sharing things will be done in two things. One is by network file system. Okay, network file systems, it will be act like a client server protocols, so where it will be used in the Unix operating systems as we are using it. So these will be these network file systems will be working along with the UDP protocols. Okay, UDP protocols. UDP means user datagram protocols. It is a connectionless protocol. That means the data which is sent will not be acknowledged, whereas a TCP protocols will be acknowledged, then only data will be done. So since it is using a UDP protocol, it is a machine independent module. What do you mean by machine independent model? Machine independent model means like it can be accessed independently along with the remote file systems. Okay, so it will be used for file sharing, searching the files and directories, and reading and writing the files, and as well as changing the attributes and modifying the data in the data centers, like that. It's having an advantages, and it's having a different types of versions. So not only one type of network interface card it's having, we have different interface cards it's having. Okay, Like that, we are discussing this topic, how actually this network interface will be interacting with the data center with different protocol in the next class in details. Thank you so much.